All right, this is for anyone who's out there who's outgrowing their life. You know where you want to go, but you just don't know how to get there. And the more you sit there thinking about it, the more you feel stuck in it. I'm going through the same thing lately, so this is for anyone who needs to hear it right now. You'll only notice it when you're in this phase, when you think your thinking doesn't work anymore. Your brain just can't figure this out. And I think it's because it's trying to look for the wrong answer. You're looking for permission to move before you have all the answers. It's like if you're in a dark room. If you're just standing there waiting to find the light switch or the door to the getting your way out there, you're going to stand there a long time. But if you start leaning in with curiosity, even in the wrong direction, that's information that you're getting and you'll eventually find your way out. I've been in this phase for, I think a year, but definitely for the last 6 months. And and what keeps happening is that, I get focused, I find something that gets me excited, but I just so quickly hang latch on to that instead of letting things um, yeah, just I'm full to get more information. Yeah, every time I latch on and I think, this is the right answer and I think this is going to solve all my problems, I get fixed in that and I stop looking for other avenues. It's almost like I put all my eggs in that basket. And what I've finally noticed is I that I sort of kind of get into this holding pattern of because I want the right answer and because I want to do it right, first, I don't move unless I think it's right. And then, second, when I latch on thinking that's the way to go, in some ways, like I feel like I stop growing in many directions. And and I've noticed that of course, I latch on to answers that feel familiar. And so that means that if I'm growing, it's only by a little bit because I'm always staying on um, paths that are familiar. So if you think about it, I'm only repeating again and again. It's kind of like if I wanted to, um, you know, explore beyond my neighborhood. But then I just kept going around the same streets that I know and only venturing out just a little bit. Well, then all the time I'm spending isn't just the familiar thing. And so if I'm tripping, I'm going to keep tripping on the same thing because I'm walking the same streets again and again. And the thing is, the time I waste thinking about where I want to go. And so, like, again, in the metaphor of the neighborhood, it's like if I'm sitting here and I'm trying to plan my whole walk and then where am I going to go and look at the map. And not that it's wasted time, of course, a map is great to have, but the map is not the territory. And so I sit the thinking, the time I sit thinking about it is the it's time that I could just be out exploring and learning where I want to go by going where I need to go. Does that make sense? And so here's what I think happens when you're in this phase, when you're growing beyond what's familiar, is that we find the security in the things that we know, but we've already outgrown those things we know. And so I think what you can only see in this phase is that the thinking doesn't serve you. Is that the curiosity, the discovery, the exploration is actually what gives you the information and the data you need to create a new map or create a new extended map. And the thing is not that you haven't thought about it enough or thought it through enough. Again, there is always a right place when we look at a map, when we think it through, whether it's your career path where I guess that's what I've been thinking. It's like, okay, so I've done so many things in my life, and I feel like there's something calling me to go beyond what I've been doing. And but if I keep, just drawing it, I'm not gonna go out there and truly investigate and find out what's available. So how am I going to find that new opportunity if I only, again, in the metaphor, if I only stay around my neighborhood? And again, you, I want to emphasize that maybe it's totally fine that you are, of course I can look online and look at Google and sorry, I can look online and I can investigate what, but what I think we discover, what I've noticed in this phase, is that at some point you need to stop the investigation, stop the thinking and the overthinking, and you need to step out and you actually need to walk the territory and stop drawing on the map. Definitely. Hey, and if this is landing for you, go ahead and like the video. That helps me know that, this is landing for you, and I'll keep making content to reach more people like you and me. There's this Zen poem that really speaks to me, and through the years, I've kind of come back to it. But I think it really speaks to this moment, to this phase when um, I guess you're in between, right? And you know where you want to go, and you're not clear how to get there. And anyway, I'm going to read it to you. And it says, "Don't light a lamp. There's no oil in the house. It's a shame to want a lamp. Just feel your way along the wall." And I don't want to make this a Zen moment or a teaching. It's not about that at all. But what I love about this particular one is that it's so visceral. And this moment is sort of like where your mind can't take you there, right? The thinking can't take you there, but you, like I feel it. I feel this momentum, this something that is inviting me out. But how do I find my way to that? This image of the tracing the wall in the dark room, isn't it? And then of course, I mean, having no oil is like when all my efforts are not working and I've pushed enough, and so it's that somehow like the wanting to think and the ruminating and having it my way. It's like I think when it says like what a shame, it's like it's I think it's what gets in the way of just feeling my way through it. So this is what I'm really learning about this phase, that I think it's so obvious here that in other times in my life it's hard to see. And that is that the thinking, and maybe, what got me here won't get me there, and that overthinking it is not what's needed here. That it is like that, like feeling my way through it. So for example, like if you're in this phase right now, I think what's important here is to have physical activities that invite the curiosity. And I mean, honestly, they can be very simple. Like it's simple, like when I walk my dog, I start listening. And so maybe I get curious about my senses, because basically it's like how do we recognize, right, the opportunity that shows up. So, what I think it's important here is getting out of your familiar patterns, disrupt the patterns that, in some ways, make if you think you're in autopilot, so make you numb to the moment and less aware of new opportunities. If we go back to this example of your neighborhood, maybe they opened up a new bakery, they opened up something new that, because you're down on the same rut every day, you've missed it. And you go to the bakery, meet somebody, start a conversation, or in that pause you get inspired and remember something. And that's what I found out. I also stopped taking my phone at night into the bedroom. And I'm making another video about, you know, what happens when you delete all social media. But it's amazing. Again, I disrupted that pattern and I'm reading books and writing, and that is just stimulating a whole new um, a whole new imagination. It's crazy. Like how much I, again, I felt that I was numb and asleep just scrolling. And I mean, so much of us, right, suffer that at night. So if you're in this phase where, again, you know where you want to go, but you don't know how to get there, what you don't need is just stay in the rut of familiarity. And you need to get up and get going. It's don't overthink it. Just, yeah, walk around the block. Take, if you have a car, take a drive. Try something new. I mean, but get your body moving, and then you will see the situation in your life. You will see new opportunities because the information you're looking for is available to you. But when you're paying attention and when you are outside of your routines and outside of your usual familiar thinking patterns. Hey, and look, and if you're at this point where you feel like you're outgrowing your life, but you actually want to talk it through and what it looks like for you specifically, I do exactly that. I offer one-on-one conversations where we can figure it out together, design a map, design a way forward, and find your way through. The link to schedule is in the description. So you don't need to know the whole path. You don't need to have all the answers, but you do need to get moving. You need to stop thinking, overthinking, and wasting time trying to have all the answers and figuring it out. You will find your way. You will know where you have to go. You will get there by going where you need to go. Feel your way through your moment. You're not lost. You haven't lost your edge. You're in a in-between phase. Anyway, that's what I've learned.